Hello and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today we're going to talk about God-given talent. You know, in life we decide what we want to be, what we want to do, but then there is something that we are really talented in versus working very hard to become good at something. I believe when you have a talent that God has given you, and by talent I don't mean singing and dancing, I mean anything that would apply to you, that it would then become easy for you. You know, they say if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And I think part of that is knowing what your God-given talent is. I think doing what you would like to do or love to do in your life is very important career-wise. And then there's the aspect, if you have a desire to do something and you don't really have the talent or the know-how, I believe if you work really hard, you can become good at anything. I also believe there are talents that are given to us that make doing what we do in life much easier, much happier. Now, with that being said, how do we find that talent? You know, it's interesting because so many times there's different aspects to every type of career. I think I shared with you before that I wanted to model when I was younger, and I'm only 5'5", so I thought, how is that possible? Because I only knew of runway models and they were pretty tall. Well, as I got more into the field, I realized there's something called commercial modeling, where you can hold up a roll of paper towels, and that is what they call commercial modeling. It's just everyday people. And so I think with everything, we only know what's on the surface of it. But if you dig deep, there's so many aspects to every career you never know. I remember a friend of mine told me they were looking for someone to work with special needs children at one of the local elementary schools. And I never had a desire to do that, but I did it. And you know, I ended up loving it. So you never know what's going to be good for you or what life has to offer you. But with that being said, I think it is important to enjoy what you're doing. So if you feel like you're stuck in a dead-end situation, I'm not saying quit by any means because we all need to work, but you can start digging into what makes you happy. I think by starting to look into the area that is somewhat attractive to us, we can then see what opportunities there are within that. Or sometimes things just come to you. It's almost like that feeling when a light bulb goes off. I was in the grocery store at a time that I was feeling very lost. I was first diagnosed with my illness, and I saw this lady there that I used to work with, and she told me that she is now teaching a class to be a speech pathology assistant. And she gave me her business card. I'm not even sure why. So I stuck it in my purse, took it home. And then it was sometime later, it was like a light bulb went off that I should look into it. And so I did. And a girlfriend and myself went back to school, and I got licensed in that particular field. Even though I'm not actually practicing that, it's helped in so many other areas. And I ended up really enjoying it. I enjoyed going to school. I enjoyed everything about that, the work that it's led up to. Then there's the desires of our heart of what we want to be. Maybe it doesn't come that easy, but we still want it. And again, I believe if you work really hard, you can become good at anything. It may not come as easy, but it is possible. One of the biggest obstacles is people saying that you can't do that because you're too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny, whatever the case may be. You need to know within yourself that anything is possible, anything. And it's amazing how when you try something, you can shock yourself how good you are at it. I know I had mentioned earlier that I started rowing. I never thought of myself as athletic. I was shocked how much I loved it. It was one of those light bulb moments where somebody came to visit from out of town and they were talking about it. And so I ended up getting into it. But ended up being a wonderful experience. So you just don't know what's right around the corner. I think in life, you need to turn over every stone to see what is your niche, what is your God-given talent. I believe we all have one, and it doesn't matter what it is. It's your thing and yours alone, and that's exactly why nobody can tell you what to do or what you're good at or what you're not good at, because it is your thing, your God-given talent, and we all have it. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It matters what we know within ourselves, which is also a huge confidence builder. When you know something so strongly within yourself that when somebody says something negative in that area, you can just look at them and smile because you know the truth. You know what you're good at. And I think to start is, well, I believe in prayer. You can meditate, whatever you feel comfortable with. Ask to seek what your calling is or what you're good at or what life wants you to do. And it's really an exciting journey. It can be very, very exciting. It may take some time to get there because you're going to have a lot of left and right turns, possibly getting to where you need to be. Kind of stay where you're at, but keep that hope, that desire, that dream within yourself and know that it's coming. And it's fun to have a good use of your time. Time is going to go by anyway, so you might as well do it with something that encourages you. It makes you feel good about yourself. It's really interesting when you feel good about yourself. You suddenly realize it does not matter what anyone else thinks. So long as you are still breathing, so long as you're still above ground, it is never too late. I don't care how old you are, how this you are, how that you are. Working toward it is part of the journey. And we all know it's not necessarily the destination, but it's a journey. So I encourage you to start moving forward towards your journey. Start turning over stones and seeing what is your God-given talent and what you feel good about when you do, what you would like to learn, what you would like to do, what makes you happy, what makes working not feel like it's working, and what gives you that confidence. And when you have that confidence, nobody can affect you by what they say. What's really interesting, when you find what you're good at, what you feel you're led to do, there's this ease of doing it. There's this natural ability. It's not you, it's the spirit within you that comes forward that makes everything just flow like it should. And that's where you get your confidence, is that knowing that you will do a good job no matter what. With that being said, I encourage all of you, particularly if you're not happy where you're at, don't give it up because, like I said, we all need to work and sometimes finding your path takes time. But get excited about turning over new stones, new leaves, and seeing what's under there, seeing what makes you feel alive again, what gets you going. And work toward it and find out what other aspects there are in it. But most things go far beyond that. See what makes you thrive. See what you're good at. And you don't necessarily have to talk to a lot of people about it unless you want encouragement or you feel that they could help you. If it's someone that you know is a negative person or a naysayer, I would kind of keep what I'm doing to myself. because you don't need anybody pulling you down. So for now, happy holidays, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.